tank bag or top box? Which one is going to be better for your next trip? In this video, I'm gonna tell you the pros and cons of each one of the options. So if you have nothing to do, grab your favorite drink and stay with me. Welcome back. Tank bag or top case? Or maybe both? This was a good question, isn't it? Anyway, most of you already know my opinion, but even so, I'll try to be as objective as possible and tell you everything that I have learned during my trips. So who knows, I might be able to convince you to change your opinion on some topics. There is no right or wrong choice. It all depends on the type of the trips that you plan to make and the gear that you have with you. For example, if you carry some very expensive camera gear, top box with a nice foam or some kind of insulation inside will be much better option. Also, if you ride with a passenger and already have a hard panniers, the top box will provide a little bit more comfort to your passenger and possibility to store more things. On the other hand, if you plan many off-road miles, you'll be much better without it. If the general idea is to be as light as possible and to have some kind of adventure trip, my advice is to leave the top box at home. Let's now see what are the pros and cons of each one of the options. I'm gonna start with the tank bag. As you can see, it is smaller and lighter, and many will consider this as a minus because you cannot have many things, but in my opinion it is a plus because it is big enough to store all of my items, the most important items that I carry here all the time, but it does not provide enough space for some pointless things, and this somehow limits the weight that I can have inside, or at least makes it acceptable. Because it is located on the top of my petrol tank, which is right in front of me, I don't need to step off from the bike every time when I need to take something from inside. For example, I can stop here, open my tank bag, take my camera, make some pictures, put it inside, close it, and continue riding. So I have this straight access all the time. It will be the same for everything that you carry inside. Telephone, documents, cigarettes, some important pills or whatever. You can have also a paper map right on the top of your tank bag to guide you all the time. Also, it is easy for you to remove it when you need to walk around by just unlock it from these clips and take it with you, so you don't need to worry about the important things that you have inside. By the way, this tank bag was sent to me from Moscow Moto. Wonderful quality, thank you very much guys. At the moment I'm testing it and I'm gonna make a detailed video review after maybe a few weeks time. As I said, because it's light and compact, you can have it all the time with you, in a coffee, in a restaurant, in the museum, or just walk around. I do it every time when I travel. And because I have this access to everything right in the second, I can open it, just take my camera, make some pictures, put it inside, or I need another battery or something like that. Yeah, as I said, this is a perfect solution that I use for many years and I'm very, very happy with it. In fact, inside I carry all of my camera gear, microphones, batteries, and basically everything I need to film my trips. I have easy access to everything I need, and it doesn't matter do I ride or just walk around. Because the tank bag is located right in front of me, there is no possible way to lose it without even notice it. And this is completely different with the top box, but we're gonna come to this a little bit later. It does not require an additional hardware to be possible to mount it on any motorcycle. There are two options. One is with magnets, you can stick it with magnets on your petrol tank, if it's from metal of course. And the second is like this bag from Moscow Moto, which is with these straps. So you can adjust it and actually put it on any motorcycle with the help of these straps. It doesn't matter how big or small it is, it will be always possible. Alright, if we consider this like additional hardware, fair enough, but it comes with the bag. So you can have it on almost any motorcycle. For example, on many of my trips, I was not riding my motorcycle, but I still got the same tank bag because it is easy. It has the straps, you just take it with you, attach it to the next motorcycle, and that's it. Even if you change the model that you're riding at the moment, it is easy to mount it on the next one. With the top boxes, it's a little bit different. Let's now see the cons. Number one, you cannot lock it. It is what it is. It has these zippers. You might improvise with some small lockers on the zippers, but in the end it is just textile material and you cannot really stop anyone to open it. Number two is again because of this textile material, it wears much faster than the top boxes, especially if you have top box from aluminum or some tough material. Number three is that every time when you need to fill the tank, you have to remove it. It's not a big deal, you just need to unlock one of these and have access to your petrol cap, but it is still something that you have to do, especially for the models with the petrol here. If your petrol tank is under the seat, you don't need to do all of this, but again, it's a con. Number four is that good quality models like this Moscow Moto Nomax are usually expensive and there is nothing we can do about it. Number five is that it somehow will raise the center of gravity on this already top heavy motorcycle or many models like this, because the tank back will go even higher, which is mean that the center of gravity will move as well. More or less all the cons of the tank back we can take as a pros of the top box, right? You can lock it, there is no problem when you need to fill the tank, they last longer, you can find cheaper option, except the center of gravity, but it's something completely different and we're gonna talk about it in a minute. Another one that almost every owner of top box will want to point out is that it is very convenient to have it. In my opinion, convenience is the only pro of the top box over the tank back, but as I said in the beginning of the video, I'll try to be as subjective as possible and we'll try to see from all angles. And now let's deeply investigate all of these pros and see, are they really pros? Number one, you can lock it. Seriously? Have you ever seen the lock of your top box? Maybe I can show it to you. It looks very similar to the one that you have on your post box. Unfortunately, I would like to show you how easy it is to open it even with a simple screwdriver, but I actually borrowed this top box from a friend of mine yesterday for the idea of this video, and I have to bring it back safe in one piece. But otherwise, I can show you. It will take just 10 seconds to break this lock. Number two was that they last longer. It depends on the materials that they used. They could last longer if they are from strong plastic or some kind of heavy, dirty aluminum or something like that. But the first thing that usually fails is this locking mechanism here. And if for some reason it fails, it will lose the main argument versus the tank back that you cannot lock it. Even though it's a safety security, it somehow gives to the people some kind of security, and that's why if you break this mechanism, and they usually break very easy, with this one I cannot even understand how does it work, honestly. But anyway, I'm not a user of top boxes, maybe it's my mistake. Number three was that it was not a problem when you need to fill the tank. That is true, but you have many other problems, from weird behavior on the motorcycle when you ride faster on the highways, to broken frames here, even broken subframes somewhere in the middle of nowhere. So I prefer to have this little problem of filling the tank instead of any other problems that the top box might bring. Number four was that you can find cheaper options, but basically it is the same with the tank backs. You can find cheap and expensive options. It always depends on the quality. For example, aluminum boxes from BMW are not cheap either. So this one, I don't know, this is probably around 150 euros, plastic top box. And this tank back costs like 250 euros. So it's a big difference, but this is the top of the top and this is like average brand. Let's now see the cons. Number one is going to be the weight. So as you can see, it's a big difference in the size. So in my opinion, the weight difference is going to be at least 3 kilograms on empty top box and empty tank back. If you fill it up, it will be at least 5 kilograms. I'll say that for most of the people, it's going to be even 10 kilograms. So you're going to have like 10 kilograms here and maximum 5 kilograms here, because you cannot have more than 3 to 4 kilograms inside of this bag. So number two is that you're gonna need an additional hardware if you want to mount it here. So I cannot have it just like that on my motorcycle. I should have another one plate here, and this plate needs to be supported somehow. And if my subframe is not strong enough, or if the motorcycle is short, or if I want to have this to stay like that out of my frame, I will definitely need an additional hardware, and this will add more kilograms to already heavy part, like 10 kilograms already, and even more kilograms with the hardware. Because some models are not really designed to be ridden with top boxes, you will need to buy support frames to secure it on the tail. But in fact, you cannot really support them well, so they will shake all the time, and you will feel this when you ride. The next number 3 is wrong aerodynamics. This is my favorite. So basically, the engineers of any motorcycle spent I don't know how many hours, months, probably years to develop the best possible option for you. So they try to have this combination between weight distribution and stability, and to have the perfect control of the bike with a minimum weight and maximum efficiency. So they have these wind tunnels, they have any kind of different tests to polish, to tune this perfect model for you. And then you decided to buy a top box like this, 3, 4, 5 kilograms, put another 5 kilograms in it, mount it on the tail of your motorcycle and say, yeah, it's not a problem at all. What are you talking about? Of course it's going to be a problem. Of course the whole aerodynamics of the motorcycle is going to be compromised. You will have this weight on the tail of your motorcycle. It will work like a ship. Of course you're going to feel it. And it is dangerous. You might not believe me, and you don't have to, but you can ask any engineer and they will tell you. Number 4 is that there is no alternative in the case you break it. You break your top box. Let's imagine that you prepared for a long trip and you decided that you're gonna have like 30 kilograms of luggage, and you split it 10 kilograms in one hard pannier, 10 kilograms in another, and another 10 kilograms here. How many liters, it doesn't matter, but you split it properly. So the hard panniers are filled to the top, the same with your top box. But somewhere in the middle of the trip, the top box broke. The frame or the plate here underneath, or whatever, maybe the lock, so you cannot use it anymore. So we don't have the top box anymore. But we still have these 10 kilograms or whatever liters they are with luggage that needs to go somewhere. But where? The hard panniers are already full. Where are you gonna put all of this? Maybe it will be a solution to have a bag, a plastic bag or something that you can tie it here on the rear seat or duffel bag. So why don't you start from the beginning on your trip with a duffel bag here on the seat? I know why, because the top box is very convenient. You have the lock and stuff like that. Or, Pavlin, what you're talking about, it's impossible to break the top box. I've ridden so many thousands of kilometers, never got any problem, even a lot of off-road. Is that so? Let me play you a short video. For all top case lovers, see this? It just broke from here. Keep in mind that this is handmade, stronger than usual, and this is not some kind of technical off-road, it's just a flat fire truck. So if someone still wondering, will it break? It will. The situation with my friend was fine, because we were about 70 kilometers south from Varna, so he left the top box in the bush and went on the other day to take it, with the car, of course. But you might be in the middle of nowhere, far, far away from your home, and this might be a problem. So the reason your top box is still fine and you never break it so far could be actually reasons, a few reasons why. First is that you just don't have enough trips so far. The second is that your trips are only on the nice smooth asphalt roads. And the third one is that your top box is from very, very tough material, probably aluminum, and it's very tough connection with the frame, which is mean that it is already too heavy and you have a lot of weight on the tail of your motorcycle. But I'm sure that on some stage you will learn the lesson. And the last number 5 is that you can lose it very easy without even notice it. With the tank bag, it's not the same. I can see it all the time. But with my top box, it's completely different, especially when you stand on the pegs. You cannot really see, or you cannot really feel what is happening. And when you ride in these bumpy roads and shaking and everything is squeezing and kicking, clicking all the time, you won't even notice it when it's fell, and you will lose everything that you have inside, especially if there is no one behind you. So finally, which one is better, tank bag or top box? Well, I can bet on anything you like that with the tank bag you'll be way more efficient and you're not gonna have any problems. The top box, it has different purpose and it has its own place in the motorcycle world, but it is mostly for people who commute between the towns or spend a lot of time in the town buying goods here and there, loading stuff on their motorcycles. Then it's a perfect solution. But for long trips, especially off-road, I don't think it's an option at all. First, because of the weight, and second, because of the option to break it when you need it the most. Of course, this is only my opinion and I would like to hear yours in the comment section below. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Press like or dislike, whatever the video deserves. If you subscribe, even better. See you in the next one. Ciao.